So One Piece episode 564, we get more of an emphasis on Horty Jones and his racism. I'm pretty disappointed with this episode. There were a couple things that I did enjoy towards the end, but for the most part, one of the big disappointments was that I was hoping to see Luffy do this epic thing that he's gonna do, and we didn't get that this episode. And this was actually strategically done by the studio, because what had happened is, for last week's episode, in order to not skip the entire whole thing of, oh, Horty Jones is, inadequacies regarding his freaking mental stability, they skipped a couple of, like, I guess about a chapter's worth or about half a chapter's worth of material, and they stuck it in this episode towards the end, so that way it would kind of balance out, so we wouldn't get Luffy doing this epic thing. And that really disappointed me. I mean, for the most part, this episode was flashbacks regarding Horty Jones, and Arlong putting it into his head that, no, you must hate humans, they're trash, they're garbage. And I guess that was a spark that really got Horty Jones to become the racist and pig that he ultimately becomes. So I guess that was kind of important. But for the most part, I did not need to see Queen Otohime again, and Fukaboshi crying throughout the episode. Just the flashback, I just didn't really care for it. I mean, it's from the manga, the flashback, so it's not like a unnecessary one. But for the most part, I wasn't really interested. I didn't really want to see that. I wanted to see Luffy do something epic. If Luffy had done that at the end of the episode, I would have been like, it makes up for some of the stuff in this episode, because again, this episode really was just like, kind of on the very slow side, and don't really want to see the stuff side, because again, they skipped some material that was supposed to happen before last episode, and they added it into this one. And a lot of really just small, minor characters talking, like people in the town. Little silly stuff that I just didn't really care to see was in this episode. So I guess in that aspect, I'm pretty disappointed. But there were a couple things that I did like towards the end. One of the main things was really, I guess, Chopper is the big thing about this episode that I did enjoy, when he's in his monster form, and Zoro walks up to him and he's like, oh, Chopper, your form that used to look more human is even more monster now. And Chopper says, before I wanted to be more human-like so that I could get friends. Now I want to be a monster so I could protect Luffy and my friends. And that really got me right there. That was definitely a good moment for Chopper. Definitely a good moment overall in the episode. Probably the best moment, I would say, in the episode, because I did really enjoy that part. Another good part, I guess, it was a little epic line by Zoro, was him saying, bring me the best swordsman on Fishman Island at the end while he's fighting. That was pretty cool. And for the most part, that's really all I really liked about the episode, because the episode was just really slow and just told us a lot of, again, what we already know. Arlong helped pioneer Horty Jones's, ideals, and how he thinks and why he thinks that way. And yeah, it was just a more of what we already know. So I'm just really disappointed that we didn't get to see this big epic moment of something that Luffy does. Hopefully they'll start off the next episode with that, because I mean, they should, because I was assuming it was going to happen, because I actually had the manga panel for panel, and it was like 5 panels right here, and then on the left side is Luffy does something epic, and then it goes to 5 panels, and it goes back the chapter backwards. I'm like, are you serious? Can't wait to see that moment. Hopefully they show it in the next episode, but a little disappointed with this episode, honestly. It's like we really got only 2 things that I personally enjoyed, but let me know what you think. Did you really enjoy it? Were you happy seeing more backstory to Horty Jones, and I guess the very first moment that sparked Horty Jones to become what he ultimately becomes, and just seeing some of the stuff that happened? Oh, it was kind of so cool to see Frankie and Chopper. Another cool Chopper moment. I guess really you could say Chopper's the star of this episode for me, because it was really funny when Frankie does one of his moves, spitting out like these bullets or something, and Chopper's like, oh, an epic move! That was probably the only other moment that I really enjoyed in the episode. But let me know what you think. Were you disappointed? Did you really like this episode? And if you know what I'm talking about, that big epic Luffy moment, were you disappointed in not getting it in this episode? Comment section below your overall thoughts of the episode. But that's all I have for this quick review. Not much else to say. Just hopefully we get Luffy doing that epic move next episode. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.